Depending on the size, you need to choose how much paint you need to put on your canvas. Depend. Sometimes if you work with the larger size, you need more paint to add. I have different yellows, so it doesn't matter which one you use. For this part, we need to make it a little bit lemon yellow. We need to premix yellow and white together to reach the lighter tone. I have gold yellow. I have cat yellow, and even lemon yellow. We can use different yellows if we have, so it doesn't matter. It's landscape. Make our painting more beautiful if you use a lots of paint. If you have, if not, just one yellow would be enough to add and paint with that. But if you see top of the sky a little bit warm, just a little bit, if you add the red color right now, it's good because we can make a little bit orangey tone to make it warmer. So this is the paint. And I'm mixing my paint with palette knife. I feel more happy to mix with palette knife because I don't waste the paint, first of all. I can use all of it. The other thing is, after a long time when you mix your paint with the brush, acrylic has glue inside, can stick this part of your brush and can damage your brushes. Not right away, but in a long time. So take white color, a little bit yellow, mix with that to reach lighter tone. Even this one, I use 2 different yellow just to make different yellows colors. So doesn't matter if you have just one, you can go with just one color. You can see different tone and value they have. So this is about the yellow color. I think I need more paint to add, just a bit more. I will remix because 8 by 10, it's a small, but would absorb a lot. And then I clean my palette knife with rag or napkin. I don't want to let it stick to my palette knife and damage that. So if you are ready, we are going to start here, this part. I just try to shape it look like this V shape because the sky is yellowy tone. So it doesn't matter, we can go just right away with the yellow color. Pure yellow first. I choose somewhere like here to add more yellowy tone on top for the sky part. And then I'm going to choose this lighter yellow, which I mix with white color. And side to side, you can add your brush stroke from center to the side. And bring it closer, you can see. Put your brush with heavy paint like that, back and forth, and add more paint on your canvas. It's so much easier at the beginning when you take a lots of paint like that. Heavy paint like this amount, because it's easier to get rid of white of canvas. Because of that, I prefer to use a lots of paint at the beginning. Not just because of cover the white of canvas. This is one reason, The other reason is we can let our acrylic paint dry a little bit later, and then we can bring the other color, like this pure yellow, on the side and let it mix with this white and yellow. Both sides is a little bit darker, so I try to use the pure color first for the both side, left and right. So acrylic dry fast. If you use heavy paint, you let this paint not dry easily, give you chance to mix the other colors with that and make the smooth color for your sky, because the sky is so smooth. There is no hard edge in our sky. If you see, I bring the pure yellow close to the white yellow, and they are blend very well together because both of them is wet. You can repeat. If some part it's get dry, you can again make it wet and add more brush stroke back and forth to let them blend very well together till the end of the canvas to the top. Just use white yellow in center, pure yellow on the edge. Actually, depend on the yellow color you have. Sometimes, if you have warm yellow, that's okay. You can directly use warm yellow. But if you have lemon yellow is already so bright, like the center of our painting. So if you want to make it a little bit warm, you need to mix lemon yellow with just a tiny bit orange, or if you have red, to help your lemon yellow move to warmer tone. And slowly back and forth with your brush and make nice and smooth brush stroke for the sky. Repeat this brush stroke until you feel all the white of canvas is covered with the paint, and then when you see the sky, feel happy with that. This is the base of our painting, and we add more layers on top. I feel more happy both sides be a little more warm color, so I add more pure yellow here on the edge on the right side and a little bit more on the left side. So keep the white yellow, the mixture of white yellow for center more. And I think a little bit bring this yellow warm color a little bit lower. I would like to a little bit cover this part and then make the bushes, make the trees, or it's like a jungle. I don't know. Maybe it's lots of trees or bushes is cover it. So first of all, I want to make the base and then add some brush stroke to make these leaves on top. And this is darker tone. I'm going with orangey color. So we already have the colors in our palette. I'm going to mix yellow with red. A tiny red, because red is so strong, can change value of the color so fast. So if you want to not see the huge change, it's better little by little add the paint, especially the red color, and then see what's happened. I make with the golden yellow this warm color. With another yellow, I just want to show you different options that we have, because we have a lots of different yellow. Any of them you have, you can make the orange color, and the value just change. Some orange is so reddish, some yellowy. It depends on the orange that we make, or depend on the yellow that we mix. So I use all this yellow to make two different orange color. This is so brighter. This is a little bit reddish color. Doesn't need to have both of them, just this different option, but I use different value. Even with one yellow and one orange, one red, you can make the different variety of it. Use more yellow to make brighter, use more red to make a little warmer and reddish for the orange. So you need to premix these and then move on to apply on canvas. We need to use the orange color to cover this part. Just first of all, it's so simply because I make the bushes and the trees and every detail later. Just clean the brush with the water, wipe it with napkin very well, dry brush, lots of paint, it's easier to cover it, and very easy. Try to add this paint on this part of the canvas to cover as a landscape. Even you can go like this and make the edge a little bit like hard edge, like that. Like this is fine. You don't need to be really clean, and we don't need to be really smooth. Because of the style of landscape is happen here, we can use some brush stroke. And then cover the rest. For this one, I can use even shorter brush stroke. We don't need to just go back and forth from side to side. We can shorter brush stroke to use like that, like X shape or like this, or like plus, or just patchiness to cover the landscape. Still, it's bright. It's not much dark. As I mentioned, I prefer to work as a layers, because I see it's more strong when the painting have a lots of layers on top of each other. And the other reason I prefer to work with more layers is because yellow is a transparent color. So the color which is transparent, they cannot cover the surface very well. The reason here is good because we mix it with white, and the white color help the transparency move more toward opaque, so it can cover it easily. But when you mix with the red here, it's more transparent, and sometimes even we can see the under the orange, like a canvas a little bit. It's visible. So you see here, I just go with back and forth, left and right brush stroke like that to cover the rest of canvas. I think the sky should be dry. Yours as well? Is the sky, this part is dry for the moon? Great. So we want to make and shape this moon. If I bring it closer, you can see, even in angle, you can see this part a little bit visible as a white and this part a little fade. It's not just a white circle. So hopefully it's visible. I don't know. So it's not just a white circle. It's a little bit lighter on top and fade on the bottom part. So I'm going to use one technique for that. If we go just take small brush, right away, take the white color and apply on a canvas. So it's a hard edge create. I want to make this part of the moon disappear into background. So I have white color, bring it here. I add a lots of drop of water into my white to help it be more, look like a watercolor. So it's so loose and it's so watery. Now with this watery brush stroke, I'm going to shape the circle here. First of all, it's hard, but after it gets dry, it moves to the background. So shape the circle with this watery brush stroke. And don't worry, all of it go to the background, push to the background when it's dry. Even sometimes right away it's disappear and then you can repeat it as a layers, just shape it. The bottom part, it's disappear and supposed to be like that. But the top part, it's harder. After that, I take the pure white color. I want to make this part a little harder. So this part, I'm not adding any water into that. I just go with the pure paint. And that's make the moon look like a real moon, and then one part, which is the bottom part, disappear and fade, but the top part be hard. Now, the other things, if you're okay to move on next part, is these trees and then the bushes that you see here. On top is a little lighter and the bottom is a little more reddish color it has. So we want to make, first of all, that color. We already have everything, white, yellow, and the red color. If you like, doesn't matter. If you don't like it, you can add a little bit brown as well, if you like. For the bottom part, which is more reddish dark, I add this brown that I have. So you don't have to, but I love different colors to play with. I clean my palette knife. Take the yellow first. I want to make the lighter orange. Yellow first, a little bit, very tiny bit red. First of all, premix the top part of the color and then the darker one. So add red a little bit. Same color that we mix on top, the orangey tone. Even if you like, you can go with different yellows or different red. Doesn't matter. So this is one yellow, sorry, orange. The other orange for the bottom part of the tree is darker, so I can use more red this time. Same color, yellow mixed with red, but this time red is more. Because it's supposed to be darker. So these are primary colors. If you have red, yellow, and blue, these are primary colors. If you mix yellow with red, you can make the orange color. If you mix yellow with the blue, you can make the green color. And if you mix red with the blue, you can mix purple. When you mix more yellow, it's more lighter. When you mix half, actually a little bit more, again, yellow and just a little bit more red, it's a little darker. When you add less yellow and more red, it's more darker. It's more reddish orange. So all these three colors is just with yellow and red. But I play with the amount of yellow and with the amount of red to make two different value, lighter, darker. So we already know that when you mix white with any color, you can make the color brighter and lighter actually. But this happened with the yellow as well. If you mix more yellow with any color, like the red, like the blue, with the blue you can make the green, lighter green. With the red you can make lighter orange, like this. And when you add more red, you have this orange, which is darker. Now I want to make another for this one here, a little bit more, use the brown. If you have, if you don't have, it doesn't matter. I take red, I take a little bit brown, would like to mix these two together. Red and brown. Give me one nice color like burgundy color or something close to that. I love these colors. These are warm colors, so we can use those in our painting. I have this orange color and I have this darker one. Darker one I use most here. I want to make more landscape strong with the darker tone. And I use all this for the trees and then the bushes here of the branch and everything. So lighter is for the top, this warmer and darker for the bottom part more. So let me put this aside and let you know how to shape the tree. So I have the same flat brush. I can do everything with this. If you want to draw just a narrow line, clean it. The hair is supposed to be liney like that. Take your paint like this, straight to the canvas like that, and draw the line. You can easily draw a narrow line. We don't have tree trunk so narrow. Even you can use lay down, hold the brush like this and come down to shape it a little bit thicker, or just one side of the brush, put it here and then bring it down and a little bit closer to that. So we can apply here and then see what happens. I'm going to start with this color and imagine one tree is good to go here. So I don't want to be really thick. I use the side of brush, not here, like this side. Start from top, pressure on the canvas, come down. I'm not adding the water in my paint. You see, it's hard to move, but prefer to use really heavy paint. I prefer to premix more paint to take a lots of paint at the beginning. Not use the water, because when you use the water, especially on top, it's more gone, actually disappear the paint. So use heavy paint, start from top, then come down, and it's better when you come down, the tree trunk be a little bit thicker. Like here, I make it a little bit thicker when I am coming down. And then let it disappear. On the orangey reddish color you already have. Add as much as tree trunk actually we want. Here I add another one close to this, a little bit even thicker. Doesn't need to be really straight because it's a nature tree trunk. It's not a straight line. It has a little bit just on the side. It can be have a bump or some part a little thicker, some part narrow. So feel free to do your own creativity. It's so lovely when we feel more be friendly with our brush. Turn it like that in the hand. So doesn't need to be really worried about it. We can move it like this way, we can move it like that way to shape the trees with the side of brush. I'm going to add another tree trunk a little bit narrow here, close to that. And when I'm coming down, I try to use darker value, means orangey value. And then let it disappear here. Right side is a little bit busier than the left side with this orange color. So I add 4 tree trunk for that. With the same technique, we can add some tree trunk on the other side. For the other side is not much, just 1 or 2. And then disappear to the landscape. Even it doesn't need to come straight to the top and then come down. We can start from somewhere like here and add the tree trunk. Yeah, it needs a practice to play with the brush from top to the bottom to bring it. And no worries, you see, it's not really clean and straight line. It's a nature. And even in some parts when you are not happy with, we have a trick to cover it with the branches and with the leaves on it. So if it's easier for you to do what we want to add branches. There is some branch we can add around, like here. We can add some branches here, a little bit. It go to the background, but we can add some branches and then the leaves around. We can go with the pointy and round brush, or we can go with the flat brush. I'm going with both of them. Pointy and round brush, sometimes easier. Choose one orange, dilute it, hold the hair of brush into that to cover all this round part with the paint. And choose somewhere. I can imagine, for example, here for this one. Randomly, I'm going to add the branch for here with the tip of brush, narrow line. If it's challenging, add a drop of water because that drop of water helps your sticky paint move easily. And then it's easier to draw a narrow line. Now I'm going again to move on. Not much water because I don't want the branch fade to the background, but a little bit would be okay. Even some here. We don't need to add a lots of branch. And even on the other side, I'm going to add a little bit liney like here, close to this. One here. I think would be okay. I don't want to make it busy with the branches. Pointy brush like that. I try to use the tip straight to the canvas. Just add some brush stroke like this. A little bit of space in between, I keep it because I don't want to cover all this part. But I prefer to go with the old brush like that. Look at like this, the tip of brush, put in a paint, lots of paint. It's so much easier. Just straight to the canvas and add like that. Add lots of movement with it, and it's so interesting. Even you can go with the darker tone. Add some movement like this to shape the leaves. Old brush, tip of old brush. Do like that. Just randomly, anywhere you like. It's so much easier. I can do it closer, like here. It's so much easier to do like that. Even you can turn your brush to shape it differently. Like that. And add as much as leaves you want around the orangey trees. Use two color, lighter tone for the top part and darker tone for the bottom part. And when you're coming down close to the part which is our tree trunk disappear, you can go with the darker tone. And even we can change the brush on this way, that way. Even lighter color or even pure yellow, any color would be helpful. The leaves are not just one color, the leaves are colorful. Even when they are warm, even when they are green, any color they have, it's not just one color, one value. It's a different tone, different value. So we can play with it. And even here, same technique for the right side. Sorry, the left side. And I just go with this old brush I have. The hair is spread everywhere. It's not good for drawing the line with that, but it's perfect for shaping the leaves. So sometimes if you see that your brushes get old, and it's not good to use that, not put it in a garbage, because sometimes we can use it like this. With different technique, we can shape the leaves. So cover around the trees with this brush stroke. And then not very busy because we will come on top with the black color. We will come with those kind of leaves around, but I would like to make the background a little more strong. So add a little more paint on it. Even between the tree trunk. I just go with the leaves. And then move on with the same technique on this section, which is cover and disappear the trees and the landscape. So it's like playing when you work with the older brush that you're not need to be worried about the tip. In the brush, with the same brush that I told you it's the old one, I would like to add one darker tone here. It's the same technique, the one that I mix red with the brown. I want to use in between this part of the trees here. And you see it's just jump the other color on top. I think it's nice, not bad. It's beautiful. But we need to have pinky tone on the center later. I just go with this. So with the old brush, tip of old brush, just like that. I'm going to do it an angle, so helpful to see. When I come a little bit higher, close to the tree trunk, and then a little lower. Even we can use lots of heavy paint and make the heavy texture and close to us, but it takes time to dry. So both sides is more reddish brown. I'm going to add, but on center, I'm going to mix a little bit pinky tone. We don't need to have a pinky tube color. We can mix red with white color and then make the pink color. But so far is okay, just playing with this dark color and then sometimes the old brush is so good to make a beautiful texture. Okay, so I cover this part with this brush stroke. Just move on as much as paint I want. Push and pull to cover it. Just like that, one level darker. You don't have to cover all the part. So I mix red with white and then I can reach a beautiful pink. If you add more white, the pink move on lighter tone, more light pink. If we add more red, so the pink is dark pink, like dark rose. So I keep this color and I take a little bit lighter as well. Because on center I have some movement which is so lighter pink. So I want to go with two different value. One red is more, the other one white is more. Start with darker pink, straight, push your tip of brush into the dark pink, like that. And then start adding on top of this paint between these colors. You don't have to cover all. Just I add a little bit like that in between. Just playing with the colors. I keep this warm tone and add a little pinky tone on top. I have the orange color, I have reddish brown color, and now movement with the pinky color. Then I'm going to add black on top again. So I try not to cover all of it. If I not stop myself, I go to cover it because I love this color. It's beautiful pinky tone. And then very light pink color, you can add some movement here to shape it. Look like some flowers happen. Brush stroke with the flowers like that, just randomly. I just touch the tip of brush with the canvas. If you don't like this lighter tone, back to the dark tone and cover it. So always we can cover it back and forth. This is the good point about acrylic paint. And it's dry so fast, so at the same time, you can do everything. I think I'm okay with the pink. I work more on the center because both side more black will come on top. And to um, shape the trees. So start from here. Anywhere you like, you can start. Choose one side to push the color from top to the bottom. I start with the side of brush even when I want to make the tree trunk a little bit thicker. Prefer to start with the side of brush. And then when I'm coming down, I try to make it a little thicker for the tree trunk. Doesn't need to be really narrow like the top part. And even I can go with more texture, with more heavy paint, because it's supposed to be close to us. And I'm going to add another tree beside that. Try not to come to the center. You can so many times repeat from top to bottom and cover it. Okay. And then even with this tip of brush, we can draw the branch like here. You don't need always go with the pointy brush. Tip of brush, straight to the canvas, draw the line for us. And it's easier to do when the tip of brush is so clean, straight. As I mentioned, this technique is the same. We need to add tree trunk first, a little bit branches, and then this leaves on top. But make sure, because it's dark and it's black, already we have a nice colorful landscape. So we can add these two tree trunk a little bit match with the trees that we already have. And then for this side, for the right side, make sure not to bring it a little center, a little bit close to the edge, not cover the center. And then lots of leaves happen here with the branches on the bottom part. So with the flat brush, wipe it and clean it. Take your paint, draw the line of tree trunk, but if you want to do as a branch, I'm really happy to do it with the tip of a flat brush to be straight like this and draw a narrow line. It's much more easier than round brush for me. I practice with this, feel more happy with that, but depends. Some people interested to do it with round and pointy brush, and all is lovely. Add as little bit branches and make it ready for the leaves. I'm going to add a little bit here, just the branch, not the tree trunk, the bottom part. And I choose here to add the tree trunk exactly close to the edge. Okay, and then we can go with the heavy paint as well to make a texture on it. Choose another place for the other tree. And no worries with the brush stroke, you can just jump different angle. It's nature. The trees is not really straight. We don't need to draw it like a ruler and add the ruler with the both side. And randomly some tiny branch add for that. So I don't make it really busy because it's dark, it's black. I don't want to leave to cover this nice colorful landscape I already have. So leave it like this. And then with the other brush, which is the old one, same as this colorful landscape, but this hair, which is move everywhere, just touch the black and randomly play with it somewhere on top like that. But make sure not cover everywhere. I'm going to start from top part. For this black color, I really think about it to add where. For the colorful, just randomly add it, but for this black one, I have to see if it's okay or not. Prefer to make it more busy on the bottom part. And it's nice when we add the like a leaves or the bushes, how we call it, look like an umbrella on top, curvy shape. So again, I try to make a little bit more push and pull around the both sides with the dark color, and on the center more empty with the black color to shape it more interesting. And it's so easy when we draw the thick line as a branch, we can cover it with this leaves on top. So a little more here. I think I'm happy with it. I really leave this warm color. I keep those. I keep the pinky tone. And then I add a little more dark color on top of the branches, bushes, and then the tree trunks. So I think that's enough, not much. If you add more, even dark color, you add a pressure in between. If you add less, so it's empty in between. Okay, I'm happy I leave it like that.